Ken.
What's up?
It's officially Black Friday week.
Oh, baby.
I am so excited about what we have happening in the Full Focus store. It's the best deals that we've ever had and some amazing, fun, new things that we're coming out with that we've never come out with before, like our double win hat. Okay, so right now, as of today, our Black Friday sale is open to anybody and everybody. So definitely go to fullfocusstore.com and go shop. You can go get your Full Focus planners for 15% off. You can get courses for 30% off,
Wow.
which is awesome, like our best-selling goal-setting course, which I love. You can also get this amazing hat when you get a new Full Focus Planner subscription. We have $1,000 off of our certification.
I'm super excited for this one because I oversee the certification program. So if you ever thought about becoming certified as a pro, you are going to want to do this now because we have done some significant revamps that are coming soon to the program that you're going to want to take advantage of. So right now is the time to join and buy because we're going to have an awesome time and you can help other people achieve the double win by becoming a certified pro.
Yes, definitely go check it out. We have that. We have new products. We have some stickers, some stickies, some, I'm trying to remember what else we have. I don't know, other fun things.
I should put a sticker on my laptop because last time, just so everyone knows, we all have Macs here at Full Focus. I accidentally took our IT director's laptop home.
Oh, shoot.
Because they all look the same.
Oh, yeah.
So
well,
that was a fun
we've
ride.
got some really fun stuff this week. So make sure you go to fullfocusstore.com and shop our Black Friday sale. There's all kinds of great stuff. And it's a great time to get started yourself with a Full Focus planner and our other items, or buy some gifts for your friends, colleagues, family,
100%.
people that you care about.
Yeah. If you care about your people at all in achieving their goals, tell them to go to fullfocusstore.com or buy them for them. It'll be great.
Absolutely. All right, so we are officially in the holiday season. It is Thanksgiving week. It's Black Friday week.
Thanksgiving.
Christmas is coming. There's a lot of food in our future. And we're here to talk about a great topic, which is
what
gratitude.
food are we going to eat in Thanksgiving?
Well, we actually will, I think, be talking about that towards the end of this episode. So if you want to know which are the superior Thanksgiving sides, in our opinion, stay tuned. But for now, we are going to talk about gratitude.
I'm so grateful for Thanksgiving food.
Great.
Well, the big thing we're going to talk about today is how gratitude can improve your life, like 4 ways that we should really focus on this. And then we'll probably give you some takeaways on how to start being more grateful in your life.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and dive in.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Focus on This, the most productive podcast on the internet. So you can banish distractions, get the right stuff done, and finally start loving Mondays and Thanksgiving week. I'm Marissa Hyatt here with Ken Freire. I didn't do that right this time.
It was good. It was a little off,
It was a little
but
weak. It's a little weak.
You're getting there. It's great. It was
All
great.
right.
It was great.
Well, we'll try better next time.
Today, it is Thanksgiving week, Black Friday week, but we're going to talk about 4 ways gratitude actually improves your life.
Yes.
And why we're going to do it. So let's talk about the first one. Marissa, what is the first way that gratitude improves your life?
Yeah, well, gratitude helps to reduce our stress.
Oh, tell me about it.
It really is true. First of all, actually, I feel like we need to like back it up a little bit and talk about like what is gratitude? Like when we're talking about gratitude, like what are we meaning? Because I think that there's all kinds of different types and whatever. To me, I feel like what we're talking about is really having kind of that spirit of gratitude. When you do this, you're putting on kind of a new, identity or lens. Yeah.
A new lens of how you look at everything.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the first point, gratitude helps reduce our stress.
Yes.
Which
very much
is kind of interesting. And you might not think like, oh, this is that obvious, but it really does. It helps us look at what's going on in our lives and helps us reframe those difficult experiences, those losses that we might have, those failures. Because when you come from a place of gratitude, what you're choosing to focus on is what that experience added to you, added to your life, how it grew you, And it just shifts your whole energy with that experience.
Yeah. I have found that the more grateful I am, the more hopeful I become about the future and about the present. And when it does it, when I'm grateful in the present, I don't worry about all the negative circumstances that happen in the future that have happened.
Yeah.
Right. I'm able to stay present. I will tell you though, that I have found when I am stuck in those negative spirals of negativity, one of the best ways to help me get out of that is to just start telling myself what I am grateful for that day. And I could feel the stress, because all of us know that, right? Like stress is you feel it physiologically. It's on your neck, or like for me, it's always on my shoulders, right? I like when I'm starting, sometimes my wife and I were stressed out. She's like, Ken, what are you grateful for? And I'm like, oh gosh, we're going to do this right now. But I know we have to, right? Like, and I'm like, okay. And I just start rattling off, and sometimes we're in the car and all the kids are screaming and my wife is like, what are you guys grateful for? And I'm like, I'm grateful that while my kids are screaming and it's stressing me out, I'm grateful I have kids. Yeah. I'm grateful they're alive. I'm grateful they're healthy.
Focus.
Yep. It shifts focus 100%. And I love that about it. And I feel the stress go away.
Well, and this really leads into our second point, which gratitude helps us get away from those negative emotions. Yeah. And so I love this, that you cannot feel two emotions at the same time, like a negative and a positive. So you can't have that situation of I'm feeling grateful and I'm feeling fear. You can be in that place where that fear is, you're aware and everything. But the second that you start to shift into gratitude, it helps to take that fear, dial that down.
That's great.
And you're shifting your focus on what you want more of, what you obviously feel grateful for. And that takes away a lot of those negative emotions.
I love that, especially because if you guys have listened to any of the previous episodes, I've talked about like my proclivities to negativity, right? When I was younger. And I found that the more I was able to just be grateful about things, it shift. And I thought you can never become an optimistic person. Yeah. Right. Like that was a limiting belief. 10 years, fast forward 10 years from now, or now 10 years, I'm extremely optimistic. I wake up and I'm very thankful about a lot of things. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? I don't have negative thoughts going through my head as much as I used to when I was younger.
Right. Or if you do, you know how to shift it.
Yeah. Correct. I think huge props to my mom for this. My mom was the most optimistic individual that I ever met.
That's how my mom is too.
Yeah. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, the world is burning. Everything's going on. Like I lost my friends in high school, like all these, like anything that was happening. And she's like, it's going to be all right. God's good. Like you're alive. You're healthy. I'm like, why are you telling me this right now? I don't even care. Right. I couldn't think through a positive filter until I started to realize like my mom is extremely grateful about just life in general. Yeah. And that's why she was always optimistic. She's like, I never get sick because I'm just optimistic.
It's hard. Wow. It's hard to, I don't know, stay in those negative emotions when you start to list out all the things of why like you are so incredibly blessed in this life. 100%. Like it's really hard to stay in a place of anger or in a place of fear or sadness or even grief. If you can move from grief, especially if you've lost a loved one, that's really, really difficult. And there's all kinds of emotions that go with that. But if you can move to a place of gratitude, and that's not to say that you shouldn't, feel those feelings. We're about the feelings here. Yeah. Okay. Feel the feelings, but you also want to have that be productive and to move through that. You don't want to stay stuck in those emotions. And a great way to move through those negative emotions is with gratitude. That's kind of like the thing that will help you out of that dark place.
Yeah. I remember when I was 19, I almost died. And if you want to read more of that story, you could just go to my Facebook page. But I almost died. And I remember being in the hospital bed and waking up from surgery and thinking to myself, wow, I'm alive. I have another chance to live. I'm breathing. I have another chance to breathe. I'm so grateful. Like my legs work. Right? Like I know for a lot of people, we just kind of get up out of bed and we're like, all right, let's just go at the day. But like, I still do this today where I wake up and I'm like, I have legs. I can walk. I have hands. I have eyes. I can see. Yeah. Right? Like I'm so grateful for just the common grace that we all have, that we are able to just get up and walk. Yeah. Now I am getting a little older. I'm getting to that place when I sleep wrong. I'm like, my whole back hurts. Right. Yeah. But overall, Nick feels it, right? Like you feel me, right? But overall, I'm like, man, I'm I'm truly blessed and I can be very grateful. And that helps me start the day in a very positive outlook versus a negative emotional outlook of like, oh my gosh, this day's gonna be awful. I'm like, no way. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, so far we talked about there's four ways that gratitude helps improve our life. The first one is reducing our stress. The second one is that it inoculates us from negative emotions. Marissa, what's the third one?
The third one is that it helps sustain our relationships and it helps us attract better relationships.
Ooh.
I think that this is really overlooked, but frankly, like people don't want to hang out with negative people.
Word. 100%.
I mean, we all know those people.
Yeah.
We've all experienced them, whether it's, in our personal lives, at work. And there's people who, like you're talking about, who wake up in that doom spiral.
Like Eeyore.
Everything is just negative or difficult or stressful or frantic or anxious or whatever. Insert those negative emotions. And when you're coming from a place of gratitude, it's not only going to encourage the people around you, but it's going to help you attract even more grateful people into your life.
Yeah.
Like we know this, like attracts like, right? Like if you are a grateful person and you're coming from that sense of gratitude on a daily basis, that sense of abundance, that there's always more to be grateful for, the people that you're going to see in your life are going to be like that. They're going to show up and be that way too.
Yeah. I think this one's extremely important for those who are married and in a relationship, because so often when you are in stressful situations in a relationship, you could blame shift so often.
Wow. Yeah.
Right. And,
so true.
And then little rifts start to happen in the relationship. And like my wife and I, we have to be very careful of this right now because we have a fourth child. She's 13 weeks at the time of this recording. Right. And neither one of us are getting enough sleep. And it's so easy to just be like, oh, well, you didn't do this. You didn't clean this. You didn't do that. Like,
right.
And we're both always, and she's a lot better at me at it, calling us out. I'm like, hey, we're not blame shifting. We're taking responsibility. Like we're on the same team. And like just being grateful for one another. So I love when we talk about gratitude sustains our relationship, because it's easy in a relationship when things get hard to start to look at that person in a negative way and want to separate from that person. But when you start to look at all the great things, you're like, no, this is my life partner. Like my wife is my life partner till death. And I'm like, I don't want to be with anyone else besides her.
Right.
Because look at all the things she actually has done for me over the last month.
I mean, she's putting up with you.
Yep, that is true. 100%. Oh my gosh. You don't even know where we start with that. But like, she's fantastic at that. Right. And even this morning, as I was driving into work, I was just thinking like, wow, last night she stayed up with the child and she let me rest a little bit because I haven't been feeling well. Right. And like, she's taking care of the kids, making food, like all these things that if she wasn't around, I'd be screwed. Yeah. Like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, what would I do without her? But
it's so important to vocalize that, to feel that sense of gratitude and vocalize it to your partner. I think that is so important for the health of your relationship. And this goes for non-marital relationships as well, or
just with
non-romantic ones, with friends, with coworkers, showing gratitude for the contribution that they're making in your life. Or, we really try to do this a lot in the workplace here at Full Focus, where we're publicly praising people. And I think that this is really important, that if you have any kind of critique or anything like that, you do that in private. But when it comes to praise and gratitude, do that publicly. Always, whether it's your spouse, whether it is and I remember my parents talking about this all the time growing up was, if they had a struggle, like my dad didn't go to dinner with his friends and talk bad about my mom. He was very intentional about speaking positively about her to others or in public. And I think that this is really overlooked. People tend to not do this, or same thing with coworkers, like it's so easy to just have that kind of gossipy. Oh my gosh, did you see, like they totally dropped the ball on that, blah, 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 whatever. But instead have that conversation with that person in private and then be grateful for them in public, show that sense of appreciation so that everyone else can join in and go, oh my gosh, like they're amazing. They did this, and it lifts everybody's spirit. It gives life. Yeah. 100%. It totally gives life. Okay.
I think that's a leadership pro tip too, by the way. Praise in public, give feedback in private.
Yes.
So for all of
leadership
you
and marriage.
And marriage.
In my family, between my wife and I, but also with our child, our older child, the 8-month-old is not talking. But we call it like we don't sell each other out. Yeah. That's like our phrase for it. It's like that. We've got each other's backs. I'm not going to go out there and be like, my wife. I don't feel that way
Yeah.
anyway, but
Yeah.
I would never say it. I don't know why people do that. Stop.
I don't know.
Stop. Everyone, stop.
Stop it.
Yeah. It's not helpful at all. Sometimes people do it accidentally, or they're like, it's a bad habit that they've created,
Yeah.
that they talk negatively about their spouse or their friends, and then just like realize this is the way I always look at it. When I'm talking about to you, and if you're a new person that I've met, and all of a sudden you just start speaking negatively about someone close to you, I automatically know I am not going to trust you with something important.
Yeah.
That's my framework.
For sure.
I'm like, you're not trustworthy. Why? Because if you talk about your spouse like that, and we
How are you
barely know
gonna-
each other,
How are you talking about me?
how are you going to talk about me? Now, I get it. If there's like you're in a good, close, safe space that you're helping each other grow and all that, that's different. But just like off the street, be careful.
Yeah.
And there are
This
people
is a
who do
real
that.
Maya Angelou lesson from Ken, right? When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. This is it.
Yes. Ugh. Gosh, that's like painfully true. Okay,
Right.
so we've gone through gratitude helps reduce your stress. It helps get you away from those negative emotions. It sustains and even encourages our relationships. And the last one is that it improves our health.
Ooh, tell me more about this one.
So true and so good.
Yeah.
Like on an actual physical level, staying in a place of gratitude actually helps you sleep better. Because it's getting rid of that fear usually, or those negative emotions. It's enabling you to sleep better. It actually reduces your blood pressure, which is so good, right? You're taking that stress level down. It's helping you not just be like boiling all the time. And it also, I think, really helps clarity of our thinking as well. It helps us to be better thinkers than if we're in a place of fear or in, again, those negative emotions. How often have you been in that place and you make really poor decisions?
Yeah.
Or you, I don't know, you just really struggle with your thinking, with your literal brain. It's like you can't get out of that dark headspace. And this helps provide that sense of clarity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have found, for me, very practical tip that I've done is that when I go to bed, make sure I don't ever read any news outlet.
Yes.
Right. I've tried to not be on social media right before going to bed, but I like literally lay there and I just pray and I'm like, God, thank you for this. And I just think about the whole day and I don't think about all the negative stuff that happened.
Right.
I literally just try to think about all the great things that happened during that
Yes.
day. Because I tell you what, if I start thinking about any of the negative things, what starts to happen is that like my dreams start to get whacked out. I start to like just stay up all night. I'm like there till 2 a.m, start thinking about stuff. And this is a fun pro tip about it. If you start thinking about all the grateful things, sometimes you'll wake up in the middle of the night, like I do, mainly because of a baby. But I come up with great new ideas in the middle of the night. I'm like, what about this? Why? Because I went to bed in a grateful attitude.
Yeah.
So I could think about things clearer, like the way you were just talking about.
Absolutely. Well, before we kind of wrap this up, I want to talk about some practical ways that people can implement a habit of gratitude.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, you kind of talked a little bit about this, of what you do. I'm curious to know if there's anything else from your perspective, and then I have too.
Yeah. So especially if you are not inclined to being a gracious individual, here's one of the things that I used to teach people, and I did to myself, right? Is that early in the morning when you first wake up, just take 30 seconds to just say, hey, I'm grateful for all these things in my body that are currently working.
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly, but like that is super helpful.
Yep.
Right. Because you're just like, all right, it works. Then at the end of the day, just being very grateful for that. If you want to take it to the next step, I always did like at the top of the hour, every 30 seconds, just be grateful.
Oh, that's good. Do you like set an alarm or? How do you...
Before I used to,
Yeah.
but now I don't. Like now I'm just naturally more optimistic.
Yeah.
But like if you're trying to be more grateful, just 30 seconds, like what went well this past hour? Oh, I'm so grateful for this. I'm so thankful for this. I'm so thankful for this. Right. And it's huge to all of a sudden see how optimistic you are throughout the day. I
feel like the thing too with this is that it doesn't have to be anything huge or big.
No.
Like exactly what you're saying about the body. I think that's such a great place to start is like, oh my gosh, I'm thankful I'm breathing.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that this heart is pumping. I'm thankful that I have legs that work or eyes that can see or I can hear things or, that I have a sense of touch. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful that, I'm not ridden with aches and pains, or even if you are, I'm thankful for the, aches and pains and all that they're teaching me. And I'm thankful for being alive and getting to see another day. So this doesn't have to be some huge, huge, huge thing. Like my encouragement is start really, really small, narrow your focus and start there.
Yeah. At work, I'm always like, man, I'm thankful I got that task done. Like when you get a task done, I don't know if you ever celebrate the win, but you'd be like, I'm so thankful I got that done. I was capable of completing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm the man. Like, I'm thankful for that. Right. Like, I know sometimes we don't do that, but like we have so much negative self-talk that we actually have to keep being very gracious and and speak in a heart of gratitude. It's a muscle
we have to work.
100%.
I feel like one of the easiest ways that you can implement this is if you, like us, are a full focus planner user. At the bottom of every day page, we have a section for your daily wins. And this was actually a feature I pretty much harassed Joel about to get in there, because this was something that I was naturally doing. At the end of every day, I actually do this in my workday shutdown ritual, is usually when I do this, but I will write down like what my wins are. And that helps me stay in a place of gratitude and in a place of hope. And I wanted all of our planner users to have that same experience and to build in that sense of gratitude. What am I grateful for? What went well today? Like, let's put our attention on that. It's so easy to think about all the things that went wrong.
100%.
Okay. So my last thing that I want to share is something that we have done in our family since I was a baby.
Apple pie.
No.
I'm still thinking about food.
No, but it is around the dinner table that we did do this. So growing up, we called this the best thing. And then later it was adapted by my sister Megan to be called the gratitude report. Okay. And so at the end of not at the end, I should say, during dinner, every single day, we would sit down at the dinner table together and we would go around and share the best thing that happened to us that day. And you never got off the hook, ever. I mean, there were days, you guys have to understand, I grew up in a family with 5 girls, okay? Nothing happened, like there's nothing that I can be happy about. And we were forced every single time to think of something that was great. And so we would all go around and do it. Well, now we've kind of adapted that to the gratitude report. So we have the best thing, but then we also have what are you grateful for today? Because sometimes there are days that are really, really difficult. And the best thing was just, getting up and going through it, right? But you can always be grateful. And I'm grateful for my sister Megan, who adapted this kind of practice for us into that, to where it was more centered on gratitude and less around what necessarily went well, because you can have gratitude even when things aren't going well. Even on your worst day, you can be grateful. So if this is something, you have a family, you have a spouse, I encourage you to implement some kind of gratitude report at your dinner table. This week is a great week to start that. You can go into your Thanksgiving dinner and go around the table and share your gratitude report. What are you thankful for today? You could do it for the full year, but what are you thankful for today?
I love it. Especially because I'm one of those families who we do high-low buffaloes, right? So this is like, what's high? What's like the best thing of your day? What's the lowest? And buffalo's like random fact. And we just use it for another high. But you're right. There are going to be days where it's just harder, especially as my kids get older, it's going to be harder. Yeah. I need to implement the gratitude report. Yeah. So I'm going to do that
I love
today.
I love
I'm going to do it.
Okay. Well, before we wrap up, first of all, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful that I get to work at Full Focus.
Yeah.
For sure. Get to work with awesome people like yourself, Nick, thanks. Megan, right? I'm very grateful for my wife. She is incredible. For all of you who are watching this and are stay-at-home moms, y'all are freaking superheroes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have the hardest job ever.
Yeah.
And my wife, shout out to you, babe. If you're listening to this, hopefully you are, right? I love you and you're amazing. And I'm so thankful for how many times you put up with me. Yeah. But also you just take care of the family and you're always thinking ahead, 10 steps ahead of me on how to make our family work, and you're willing to do the hard things when I'm not. So I appreciate her the best.
I love that. That's great.
What about you?
I am grateful for my family and the closeness, the fact that all of my family, my immediate family, lives within about 30 minutes of me. And that is a huge, huge gift. I have 10 nieces and nephews, and they're all close by, and it's really fun. I'm grateful that I work with my family and that we like each other because it could not be that, it could be really different. I'm really grateful for my girlfriends. I feel like they have been my rock, for the last several years. And I'm just super grateful for them. And I'm grateful that we get to do this podcast and for all of you listening, and that we get to kind of open our lives and you guys get to come in and we get to hear from you. And yeah, I'm just grateful for this experience.
Yeah. Nick, what about you, man?
I'm grateful to be here with you two. What
look at you.
Sometimes
Job security.
you look at a calendar invite. I mean, you guys both had the calendar thing on your Google Calendar, and you're like, okay, 4 hours of anything. But it's so much fun. It's such a nice time to be able to work on a show that is helping people, or hopefully helping people, sort of live the life they want to live. I mean, how could you, I make other podcast people. I work, and I'm not selling anybody out. I'm truly not. But some of these other podcasts aren't doing this work. And so when I get to do stuff like this, it's always very exciting.
Yeah. Well, we love having you.
And he loves the offline banter between us.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Right. Well, before we completely wrap up today, we have a very important topic, which is Thanksgiving dinner.
Ooh.
And y'all know I am a big foodie. Okay. Like, that is my love language, is food.
I love food.
And cooking and all the things. This is like one of my favorite holidays because of this. Actually, growing up, I was not the biggest fan of Thanksgiving because my birthday, which is on the 28th of this month, often fell on Thanksgiving. And my mom, if you're listening, I still love you and I forgive you for this. But I think it was like my 6th birthday or something, or 5th birthday. I got a pumpkin pie with a literal, I don't know what you call it, massive candle put in it because we didn't have birthday candles. And it was like
this explains a lot about Marissa.
It was like a whoops, we forgot this is also Marissa's birthday because we've been so focused on Thanksgiving.
This is the child wound that we need to heal.
This has been
the problem.
My therapy session, but yeah. So I didn't love it for a while, but we have repaired that experience. So now I do love it.
Good.
So here's the question: is what is the non-negotiable has to be on Thanksgiving table, and if it's not, like, you're done. It's just like, this isn't even Thanksgiving. How could it be? It could be any meal, any other day of the year.
Yeah. For me, for sure, turkey.
Okay. That's like the most boring thing on the table to me.
You're such a hater right now.
I mean, sure, I'll eat it. It's there. I'm going to eat it.
What else do you eat turkey?
No, I know, but it's just like boring.
What are you, like a ham fan? Like, you're like,
yeah, but not on Thanksgiving. But it's about the sides.
Oh, no, we're not getting to the sides yet. I'm just talking about the main dish, the non-negotiable, we got a lot of sides that we're going to add to this plate, but we're just talking main dish.
That's actually true, Marissa. The setup to the question did ask, this is not Thanksgiving without this dish. If you don't have turkey at Thanksgiving dinner, that's difficult.
It is
so
a little, but that's kind of like the given.
Maybe. I mean, some people do ham, and I'm like, you might as well just go to McDonald's at that point.
Whoa.
You don't like ham at all?
I can never. I'm not a big fan of ham. I don't know why.
Well.
I love a ham. I love a honey. What is it called? Honey baked, honey glazed. I don't know. Ham. Love it. But that's okay. That feels more Easter to me than it does Thanksgiving.
It's good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's good, but it's like turkey,
sides.
Like a deep fried turkey.
Oh gosh. Okay, deep fried.
Wow, that was real disdain for that.
Okay. That was just like another level. Okay, well,
you're not a foodie.
Turkey. It's on the table.
All right,
what else has to be on the table?
What's your main? Hold on, no, you got to ask. I got to ask you. What's your main? Like, here's the main dish that needs to be on the table. I said turkey.
It's got to be stuffing or dressing.
But that's a side.
Yes, but when are you ever having stuffing throughout the year? Nowhere else in the year. It's only on Thanksgiving Day.
So that's your main dish is stuffing.
And personally for me, it's a cornbread stuffing. I use, oh my gosh, it's got walnuts, it's got cranberries,
do you make your own stuffing?
It's got sausage. This is what I bring every year. And it is, delicious. People rave about it.
That sounds delicious.
It's so good. Oh, I'm like
Can
salivating.
you make some a week before?
Yeah, maybe we need to do like a full focus
Thanksgiving dinner or lunch.
That'd be fun. Okay. What else?
Okay. Stuffing. Mashed potatoes.
Okay. See,
I know.
I'm not coming to your dinner.
This is crazy.
I know. She's like,
This is like
Hold on.
so boring.
Sweet
though.
potato-
Turkey and mashed potatoes.
I'm not. We're going one at a time here. It's not like we're.
I know, but it's like 2 strikes. You got one more.
Okay,
and
but you
you're
said
out.
stuffing. You're like, okay, that's common for Thanksgiving dinner. Like
Right.
everybody does stuffing.
Yeah,
So
but it's great.
I know. So
I have to say that stuffing is low, but the cornbread stuffing sounds.
it does sound great.
So at first I was like, okay, lady, this like hatred on turkey, and then you answer with stuffing did not feel fair.
Yeah, but then you heard what's in my stuffing.
Yeah,
looking at
and
a
it's
cornbread.
homemade versus
Yeah.
like just a box stuffing that everybody
Always
gets.
homemade.
That sounds
Everything-
delicious.
Yeah, everything's got to be homemade on Thanksgiving.
I will say I love sweet potatoes with like marshmallows on
Yeah.
top.
Okay.
Oh,
See, now
okay,
we're
so
talking.
That
Okay.
that's got to be there.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a bunch of other sides that I love.
Sweet potato was going to be on my list. I would say Brussels sprouts, and I do a killer. You guys can look up this recipe. It's actually, searchable. It's not mine. Miso glazed Brussels sprouts.
You're a big
that
miso
are
fan.
To die for. It's the umami.
Yeah.
Oh, it is so good. And they're like a hint of Asian, but it's not really like it doesn't feel out of place. Actually, it feels really, really good. Oh, they're so delicious.
Can I share with you a very fun fact about Brussels sprouts?
Yes,
I mean, maybe
please.
you know this.
Okay. Yeah.
That like historically, like our parents and whatever, the idea of Brussels sprouts, you need to eat your Brussels sprouts for
Right.
dinner. Like nothing, you can't have.
And they were
dessert
always
till you
boiled.
finish your Brussels sprouts. That's true. The preparation was different. They were boiled.
Yeah.
But Brussels sprouts are pretty good actually in terms of leafy greens
Nutritious,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason is because Brussels sprouts taste different today than they did when our parents were kids.
Oh, they
They're
put
much
MSG in our
less-
Brussels sprouts now?
They're much less bitter. They have been
Interesting.
designed to taste better over the decades. And that's why.
Wow.
There you go.
Fun fact.
They're coming out with the
I
facts.
do love a Brussels sprout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But look up, I can't remember whose recipe it is, but miso
There's
glazed.
several.
All right, what
Look
are
at
some
The
your
other
other
thing
ones?
is you got to have some kind of a yeast roll. For me, that's a sourdough. I usually make a sourdough pumpkin yeast roll. Ew. So good. Delicious. Feels
What are
very
you,
fall. The
how
other
does-
where
thing
do you
that
find
has
this
to
person?
the other thing that has to be on the table for me is homemade, critically important, homemade cranberry sauce.
Yes. That
Yes.
I was hoping you were gonna
Because
say
you
cranberries.
have to have the acid. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have that tart aspect. Whereas normally, otherwise it's a lot of rich stuff. This is why those miso Brussels are good too, because they have a little bit of acid in there and it just breaks through the richness.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's another one. Take it or leave it.
When's the last time you ate mac and cheese?
Last night. I went to a steakhouse and
My logic.
had mac and cheese.
My mom makes a twice baked potato that is to die
Ooh,
for.
I love a twice baked.
So
Yes.
that's like for me a personal thing is a
Yes.
twice baked potato, and you gotta have some sort of corn,
Yeah,
sweet corn.
like a creamed corn. Mm.
Cream corn.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Not a creamed corn. I don't want that.
oh,
Just like corn.
just
just corn.
just like corn,
You gotta have corn.
like corn on the cob. That's a little bland.
Maybe.
I like a corn casserole.
I'm from the Midwest.
Listen,
Yeah, like
hold
a
on,
corn
hold on.
casserole though.
Hold on. We got to establish something. Marissa is saying that all of our stuff is bland, and then she's like, "I like stuffing. I like bread." Like you're
Because
saying
y'all
the
have
same.
not had my stuffing or my bread. It's sourdough
You-
pumpkin bread.
That's
Make
It
sure
is
that you're
corn-
following
I mean-
online. Marissa, you got to post your stuffing when you make it at least.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, y'all get ready. You're going to see my Thanksgiving table and be like, oh, now
No,
we get it.
I'm not even going to agree to that until you bring it into the office and we have some.
Okay. I'll work on that. I'll work on that.
I'm down.
Okay. Before we have got to get to the pies, because this is clearly the reason we're all here.
Exactly.
What is your favorite pie?
You cannot get mad at me right
I'm already mad.
now.
I don't even know what you're going to say, and I'm mad. It's probably a chess pie. God, it's so boring.
No,
What is it?
it's an apple pie.
Why would I be mad at apple pie? I love
I don't know.
an apple
You've
pie.
been hating on everything else I said.
I love an apple pie.
I am huge apple pie fan. I actually have to text my aunt-in-law. I don't know what you say. I don't know what.
Yeah.
She always makes the apple pie. I got to make sure she brings an apple pie.
Okay, fun fact. My sister Megan, whom a lot of you know as well, is a master pie maker. Like this may be her, like if she was not the CEO
I'm
of
texting
this
her
business,
right now.
she would have a pie business.
I'm texting her
Honestly,
right now.
she's phenomenal.
Y'all.
So.
Y'all are seeing me text right now.
Your reaction to when you thought he was going to say chess pie.
It's just like.
It's very funny. For people who aren't in the South, they may not know what a chess pie is.
A chess pie is a pecan pie without pecans. It's basically like a custard.
That's gross.
I guess. I feel like I've had chess pie with pecans.
It's just boring. It's just like sugar and eggs. Yeah. It's pretty much what it is. It's a custard. I mean, it's good, but it's not great.
Okay, now did you say what pie you wanted? Because I was too busy focusing.
I do
texting.
feel like
I literally texted Megan. She's gonna be so confused. I said, Megan, can you make us an apple pie? Yeah. That's all I said to her.
I love it. Like, she's gonna be like, okay, sure.
Let's see how long it takes her to get back.
Yeah. Pumpkin pie has got to be on.
Oh, for sure.
On the table. Like it's not Thanksgiving without pumpkin pie and apple pie, I would say.
I'll do both with some whipped cream.
The other one
and ice cream.
The other one that is usually Megan, she always makes the pies, always. And the other one that I love, and this is a little crossover to Christmas, so I'll, acknowledge that, is cherry pie. Her cherry pie.
That's acceptable.
It's like the freaking best. I don't even like cherry pie, and I like her pie. It is so good.
And cherry pie.
Yeah.
Still texting. I would say also a blueberry pie. I know that's a little controversial. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I haven't had a blueberry pie in a very long time.
I'm pretty much pro pie.
I like a peach cobbler. What about peach cobbler?
Totally.
Honestly, honestly, apple pies can sometimes be kind of difficult for me.
Yeah.
It depends on.
There's got to be some acid in there.
Apples.
There's got to be some acid.
I agree with that. I thought you were gonna say we should never do apple pie. You're gonna get fired.
But I don't want like hunks of apple. I don't want that. Right?
Well, what do you want?
They're
a
kind of like
sauce?
texturally a problem.
Oh.
I need like thinner apple.
Oh, okay.
Oh, got it. I thought you were like gonna get an apple pie.
No, you've had those apple pies where people are. It's just like huge.
Yeah,
like,
it's too much.
And I'm like, they didn't cook all the way through, and it's
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm feeling you.
Okay, well, hopefully.
Be thankful today.
We just named every food.
I mean, honestly, I'm hungry.
I know.
I'm hungry.
Well, at the time of this recording, we haven't had lunch yet. So
yeah, it is lunchtime. So
I'll have you know, a couple of years ago, I made because I make ramen from scratch at home. People,
what?
Oh my God, we had the same reaction.
I'll send you a photo of some ramen. It's very good.
Yeah.
I don't need. Listen, Nick. I don't need photos. I need product.
So here's Ken's MO. He just finds out that people make food.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
actually
make that for me.
Ken, in a nutshell.
No, that is pretty. That is 100%.
That's on point.
Yeah.
But a couple of years ago, attempted a Thanksgiving leftover ramen.
Right, like a turkey ramen. See,
which included like a turkey chashu, and it included some cranberry and
so hungry right
Brussels sprouts.
Yes.
And it was you know how it is with recipes. It was like a first pass.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite dialed in, but it's pretty good. It was pretty good.
I love Thanksgiving. Well, now I'm really in the mood for Thanksgiving meal. All right.
Nick, we're gonna need to have a bro date, and you bring the food, I'll bring the topics.
I'll bring ramen. I can freeze it.
So today we have talked all about Thanksgiving sides and gratitude. And we just want to encourage you to be grateful, especially this week, but always. So thanks for joining us on Focus on This.
This is the most productive podcast on the internet. So please share it with your friends and be sure to join the Full Focus Planner community on Facebook so you can benefit from the creativity and encouragement of people chasing big goals just like you.
And we're going to be here next week actually answering your questions. So hopefully you have submitted your questions about achieving the double win and goal achievement inside of our Facebook group. And we are going to be answering all of that next Monday. So we'll see you then. And
until then, stay focused.